Next on Live It Up, soap operas.
Are addicts confusing fact with fantasy?
And two very special guests, Patch and Kayla from
Days of Our Lives.
Like sand through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Well, look, I don't suppose that we fooled anyone at all. Yes, this is Live It Up, and hi, I'm Tricia Goddard. And today we're talking about soap operas. There are two special guests today, and everybody's very excited. They are daytime television's golden couple, Patch and Kayla. And a big welcome to Mary Beth Evans and Stephen Nichols. Applause is a little bit more than the applause Rosie and I get. Not much, just a bit.
You've only been on 6 weeks. You've had 5 years, so.
All right, well, Patch and Kayla are practically an institution. Why do you think they're so popular? Who wants to take that one?
I think it's been explained away at this point. Yeah. You're very astute.
I know, you really are.
Oh, everything that you've said is right on the money as far as the way soap operas are formulated, and it seems that everyone is the same in formula, and they keep the chase going on forever, and it takes forever to kiss, and when you think it's going to happen, something else happens that gets in the way.
And they always have these great shots of you're doing a scene with somebody, they have, like, say, me turned away from the person, so you can talk and cover and say things, but your emotions are showing this way, and they suck in the audience to feel all these things that, you know, that you're feeling, and the other person doesn't feel, so they're rooting for you, and I mean, I think people
But that has another meaning in Australia, by the way.
Oh, I've heard that. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, we've learned a lot of things here. Yes, I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm going to bring in Ben Mitchell from TV Soap Magazine. Why do you think Days of Our Lives are so popular?
Well, we've got sort of proof of why it is popular, because we publish TV Soap Magazine, and we regard it as quite a coup to bring Mary Beth and Stephen to Australia, from the point of view that every time we've had them on the cover, we've practically sold out. So without a doubt, it's Mary Beth and Stephen who've really made this show very popular.
Right.
But they're the most popular couple in the last 26 years since the show's been going. And if you take into account about 3.5 million people watch the show, it's not bad that their popularity continues to roll like it does.
You bet. Well, let's talk to some of the fans to see what they think. There's Tally again, and she's with Karen and Sue. Haha, Tally. What do you think is most far-fetched about soaps? Let's go the other way. Are there any storylines that you can't get into?
I guess as an example with the Patch and Kayla storyline would have to have been when they took the patch off and had this big operation in the lounge room.
But I'm a nurse, you know. We didn't need anesthesia or anything. No anesthesia, nothing sterile. We'll just pop that thing in. It's crazy.
And Sue, where's Sue? Sue, you're a scientist as well as a Days of Our Lives fan. Now, what do you say to people who reckon that soap fans are stupid?
I think it's a popular misconception that people who watch soap operas sit at home all day and watch TV. It's just not the case. For in my case, I just tape it, you know, come home at the end of the day and watch it at night after dinner. So
You'll never miss it.
No.
I think people get a kick out of it. I mean, I think half the time they're laughing at the characters too, or laughing with them. At the storyline. Can you believe this? Would this really happen?
But do you ever look at scripts and say, oh no, this is a joke?
Absolutely.
But I think that's part of the fun. It's like a fairy story. Just because you know it's not true, it doesn't mean you don't enjoy it.
Right.
And I think women are really tickled by the ridiculous twists and turns. I think that's part of the playfulness of soaps.
And how far, Stephen, if I can ask you, how far do you think soaps reflect the American way of life?
Well, I think
Didn't some show have like
they try very hard to reflect the American way of life, but when it comes to some serious social issues, I don't think they go far enough with explaining what's actually happening in the world. What's so funny?
You said social issues.
Yeah.
I got everybody going. It's kind of scary.
You think
they have to be very careful. In other words, they're in a daytime venue, and they have to be very careful what they say and what they bring across to the audience. Stuart, your phone is ringing.
And that's a good point to say. We'll be back with Mary, Beth and Stephen soon. And on the subject of soaps, we'll be asking, are Australians more down to earth or just less sophisticated? It up on soap operas with Dr. Rosie King and the stars of Days of Our Lives, Mary Beth Evans and Stephen Nichols. Rosie, what's the difference between American and Australian soaps?
Well, there's a cultural difference, of course, but there's a time slot difference because our Aussie soaps are made for an evening time slot. So they include family issues, they are very down to earth, they're much more practical and realistic. Nobody gets reincarnated by popular demand, which happens on American
Unfortunately for the staff.
Yes, that's right. Nobody gets to come back. And also kids are involved. And you hear, on American soaps you hear a lot about kids, but you hardly ever see any. And there are a lot of kids in Aussie soaps.
So what do Aussie soaps say about our national character?
Well, I think that we're much more laid back, we're down to earth, and we won't tolerate anything that's too airy-fairy or too luxurious because we have very basic sets and everybody's living an ordinary, everyday life. So I think it's a really everyday attitude.
All right, well, Mary Beth and Stephen, people talk about the special chemistry between you two. Now, is that something that you have to actively manufacture, or does it just come?
Well, for us, it was...
It happened.
It came very easily. It happened.
And we have the same sort of values, and we work the same way. We're both sort of instinct kind of actors and not cerebral. We didn't start talking about it. We just worked on it.
From the moment we met each other, we just knew. It just clicked. And you know, I didn't go to the producers and say, I've got to have that girl. You know, she's the one. It just happened, you know. She got the part, and we got together, and it was just magical. It was one of those things.
We both have kids, and we always talk about our kids or our things.
Oh, you can talk about kids, can't you?
Yeah.